right. Mic check 1, mic check 2. If you are watching this live stream back on the replay, take advantage of the chapters and skip ahead to the start of the show. I'm still setting up and giving people some time to tune in. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Oh, I'm here. I'm like a minute behind being here when I wanted to be here. I wanted to be here at 10:55. So, of course, there was some surprise event. So our earnings that we're covering for tonight, guys, the website is a little funny. So it was throwing me off from how we normally do stuff. So I have to work on setting that up. So we might not start on time tonight because of this, but just stick with me. We got it. We're going to get this together. All right, so make sure I cut this fan on before this camera overheat. Let's share the stream over on Facebook. So let's do that. Hope you guys had an awesome day in the markets and an awesome day in life. I do. Original greatness. All right. And before I share this on Facebook, I usually launch the Social Stream Ninja. So let's get that going and see what we got. All right, it says it found the stream. Let's trigger. Okay, guys. Got that, delete that. Let's get it on the right speakers so I can actually hear it because it's on the headphones. So let's try that again. All right, a lot better. Now let's share this over on Facebook. What just happened over here? All right, digital creator. There we go. All right, about to share the stream once it pops up. There we go. All right, we are live. Here we go. We are live. I hope I don't start sweating, guys. I got this fan on. I don't know if you can hear it. Oh, yeah, you can hear it because I see it coming up. Wait a minute. Yeah, you guys can hear this fan. Hopefully that's a little bit better. Fix my shirt. All right, so we shared what we needed to share over on Facebook. We have that. We got the mic set up correctly now. We are live, share, bam. So we got that. Let's get Akamai set up for the earnings. So here was the craziness I was talking about. Let me go ahead and set this up now. It's not even doing it, guys. They usually let you, maybe they won't let me do it because I got the tabs on the right. That's the only thing I can think of. Let me see if I can switch this. Show tabs horizontally. Of course, that's what it was. All right. So I got that fixed. Let's go ahead and get the earnings position. Take that down so you can see what I'm talking about. Gotta position the earnings. So when we cover Akamai, it will be correct. And then we can get ready to start the show because I know it's after 11. Oh, and I got the mouse lock on. So that's going to be a problem. And my other mouse died. So I charged that. I'm telling you, boy, it's Friday. It's Friday. You know what I'm saying? They know it's the last day of the week. It's like, you know what? I'm going to do everything I can to drive this man crazy. His last day. I'm ready for my off day. Shoot, I'm ready. Turn on click lock. All right, we cut that off. So we're good there. We got the script ready. We did the Social Stream Ninja. Hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. If you haven't done so already, be greatly appreciated. We just crossed the milestone of 100,000 views on the channel. Thanks to you guys supporting. And man, it means a lot. We got to keep it going. We got to continue to grow the community, got to stay consistent, and got to keep bringing this value in this content. So that's what we're doing. All right, so let's go here. We got that pulled up. We got like, it's 11:01, not too bad. I think we have everything we need set up, guys. I think we do. And for those of you that's watching on Facebook, let me give you this disclaimer now. Sometimes the message does not come through to where I can see it. So I'm not ignoring you. Just sometimes it don't come through. The messages work a lot better if you send a message from YouTube, just to let you guys know that. So thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that like button. Let's try to get this video to 10 likes, just 10, just asking for 10 likes individually. Let's get these 10 likes. Let's do something fantastic and grow this channel. All right, I believe we can go ahead and get started. All right, guys, here we go. Welcome to Market Recap Live. I am your host, Joseph Martin. Thank God it is Friday, guys. It is Friday. Ooh, thank God. And tonight we are taking a look at ticker AKAM. You might know them better as Akamai. Akamai Technologies was founded in 1998 by F.T. Leighton. Leighton, I believe that's Leighton, and Daniel Lewin, with its first office opening in Cambridge, Massachusetts. Now they're publicly traded on the NASDAQ and have a market value over $16 billion. Yes, that's billion dollars. Akamai is in the IT services industry in the information technology sector, and they are listed in the S&P 500 index. Some of Akamai's competitors are Cloudflare, ticker NET, Fastly, ticker FSLY, and Cisco Systems, ticker CSC. We're going to review Akamai's earnings, their website, and pull up the charts to perform a quick technical analysis. But before we do that, let's do our roll call and check our stream poll. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Let's get this chat going and tell us where you're tuning in from. Put a YT in the chat if you're tuning in from YouTube, FB for Facebook, and an X for X. While you guys are filling up the stream and the chat, here's the mission statement. We are building a community over here for people who want to take control of their financial situation by learning how to unlock the wealth building power of the stock market. And we are streaming Monday through Friday following trading sessions at 11 p.m. Eastern time. The U.S. stock market regular trading hours are 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time. And there's a link for the New York Stock Exchange calendar down in the description. Okay, let's get to it. Let's get to these earnings. Let's get these knocked out. So bam, bam, and bam. Guys, we on it. We on it. That's the best I could do with the, let me see. I might be able to do something to make this a little bit better. Give me 1 second. I want to see if I can put these tabs on the side so this can take up more space. Show tabs vertically. Okay, let me see if this, yeah, guys, that made it a little bit better. It just wouldn't give me the, no problem. We got it. Good. That looks better. All right, let's go ahead and get the earnings. Akamai Technologies Incorporated, ticker symbol AKAM, the $16.1 billion company, reported its second quarter 2026 earnings on Thursday, August 6th. They have a 52-week high of $165.45, which took place on May 13th, and a 52-week low of $69.78 that occurred on August 8th last year, which is a trading range of $95.67. And they were closed today at, wait a minute, that flow was a little off. I'm gonna start from the beginning, guys. I want this to be right because I'll also make this into a short, okay? So bear with me. Akamai Technologies Incorporated, ticker symbol AKAM, the $16.1 billion company, reported its second quarter 2026 earnings on Thursday, August 6th. They have a 52-week high of $165.45, which took place on May 13th, and a 52-week low of $69.78 that occurred on August 8th of last year, which is a trading range of $95.67. And they closed today at $110.54. Akamai earnings report met market expectations on the top line, reporting revenue of $1.1 billion, and a beat on the bottom line as cloud infrastructure services growth and security revenue offset delivery segment declines. EPS was higher than the analysts and market expectations of $1.58 when they reported an adjusted EPS of $1.59. Akamai reported a GAAP net income of $79.4 million, which is lower than $103.6 million net income they reported this same quarter last year. This represents a decrease of 23.4%. So for the second fiscal quarter of 2025, their net profit was approximately 30.5% higher than it is compared to now a year later. The earnings were released after the market closed, followed by a 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time conference call. As far as guidance, management expects full year 2026 revenue to be between $4.45 billion and $4.53 billion. That 52-week high compared to today's closing of $110.54 represents a decline of 33.2% over a span of about 3 months. So if someone invested $1,000 in May at that 52-week high of $165.45, they would be seeing a loss of $331.88. All right, we did that. Now let's go ahead and move on, guys. Let's move on. Bam, bam. We still had the ticker poll up, but that'll be all right. We're good. Now, researching the company. So let's go here. Let's take care of that. Let's talk about why we visit these company websites. We're looking at the visuals and text to find answers to these key questions. What goods and or services does the company sell? How important are those goods and services to their customers? What makes this company stand out from the competition? And how well do they take care of their employees? Where we look, we search for those answers in 4 main areas. The homepage for the goods and or services. About us for purpose, vision, values, and mission statements. Careers for employee benefits and opportunities. And investor relations for stock quotes, charts, and financial reports. And for your convenience, all companies featured in tonight's live stream are down in the description. Now, let's go to Akamai's website. Yeah. All right, now when we put this thing over to the side, let's put this back horizontally. There we go. Blow that up, bring you guys over, take that down, put Akamai here. There we go. We are good. Okay, we've looked at Akamai before on their website, so hopefully it's not nothing crazy like we've been seeing lately where we have to take notes and go through all of that. But we're going to scroll over the homepage and look at the bottom and see if they have our links for where we need to go. So Akamai. How to master agentic AI. Start here. Akamai Cloud, Akamai Security, Enterprise AI Usage Risk Report 2026. The state of AI inference. What's new? Build applications anywhere, secure and scale them everywhere. So cloud computing, security, content delivery, ready to get started or have questions, contact sales. Okay, so here we are. Everything we need is down here at the bottom. Take me off the screen. Here we go. So we're going to go to About Us. We might go to History if we don't find out enough about the company under About Us. Then we're going to go to Investor Relations and Careers. Not in that order, but that's where we're going to go. So let's start with About Us. Put me back on the screen. About Akamai. We make life better for billions of people, trillions of times a day. Learn how we power and protect life online. Every day, billions of people connect with their favorite brands to shop online, play games, share ideas, manage money, and so much more. They may not know it, but Akamai is there powering and protecting life online. And they have a video. Links to this website are also down in the description for your convenience. Akamai at a glance. So here's some stats about the company, annual revenue, the number of employees they have worldwide. It looks like over 11,400. And over 700 cities spanned by Akamai. Okay, globally, Akamai is trusted by, so here are some other stats about the company as well. Meet Akamai's leaders, awards and accolades. So we said we might go there, but but I believe they're going to give us more details about the company under careers. So let's go to careers. And then if we don't find out more than enough with the careers, then we'll go to history, awards. All right, so here we go. Careers, and we also looking for the benefits while we're here. Careers, join our team driving innovative collaborative solutions to the world's toughest challenges. Careers, life for the Akamai, inclusion, early careers. Join our global team making the impossible possible. Build your career at Akamai where innovation, collaboration, and purpose come together. So there's a video here, and right there, guys, view benefits. So we're going to browse over this page, and then we'll come back and click on view benefits. Our culture by the numbers, 2026, over 11,000 employees worldwide. 95% of employees can work where they choose, office, home, or both. 28 offices with teams in 33 plus countries worldwide. Core values driving our team: customer first, giving back and inclusion, innovation, integrity and trust, one Akamai, urgency and persistence. Featured roles: cloud infrastructure and security engineering. Named a top place to work. So here are some of the rewards, awards, and recognition right here, guys. Some of them are right there. Put me back on the screen. All right, life of the Akamai. I believe we saw that video before, at least where it was. Explore our culture, connect to grow your career. All right, guys, so let's go to the benefits. Come on. Just scroll because that's not working. Here we go. Benefits, view benefits. Let's see how they break this down. Another video, guys. A deeply connected culture powering the world with innovation. Great work thrives through collaboration. At Akamai, our shared purpose drives innovation, constantly pushing what's possible. Together, we move new ideas forward. Global benefits. So health and wellness, mental health and support, family building benefits. I'm not going to read all that. I'll take me off the screen so you guys can see it. And remember, links to this website are down in the description for your convenience. And then you would click on country specific benefits. And there's United States right there. Okay, hear from our employees. Let's connect to grow your career. All right, let's go to investor relations so we can get ready to wrap this up. It's right here, guys. Put me back on the screen. All right, stock information is right here. So let's browse over this page and then we'll click on that. Did they zoom us out? No, they didn't. We're good. We power and protect life online. Upcoming events, Akamai blogs, contact us. And guys, that's the page. Thank gosh. All right, here we go. Stock information. Let's go to quotes and charts. Here's the stock quote for the company. And it looks like it's taking a minute for the actual chart to pull up. We've seen this happens frequently. They outsource this from somebody. I don't know who it is, but it takes a while to load up. I do the little chatty and there it goes. Chat. So there we go. It pulled up. Now we can talk about what I found in my research about the company. So let's go here, talk about that. Cam. All right, cool. Clients and partners. That's what we're going to talk about. Clients and partners. Akamai does have clients and partners that are listed in the S&P 500 index. Some notable names include Microsoft Corporation, ticker MSFT, Apple Incorporated, ticker AAPL, and Salesforce Incorporated, ticker CRM. Now, let's talk about the mobile limitations. Before we look at the charts, remember, professionals trade from a computer, not a mobile device. Mobile trading apps are limited and don't have all the features that are available on full trading platforms. Now let's look at Akamai on the charts. So here we go. I already had it pulled up. Yeah. All right, put that there, take that down, put their ticker up. Guys, we're good. All right, so we've looked at Akamai a few times, so we already have some levels here, but let's go ahead and break this down. Take me off the screen. So we are looking at Akamai, ticker AKAM. Here they are on a 1-year daily chart. Here's their 52-week low of $69.78 and their 52-week high of $165.45. And they closed today at $110.54. Now let's go to a higher time frame. So we're going to a 10-year weekly chart. Let's verify how much time we have. Yes. So here's 2016. So it is in fact 10 years. Here's their 10-year low of $44.65, 10-year high of $165.45, which is also the 52-week high. All right. Now, before we go back down to the lower time frame, there's a few things I want to focus on. Let's get the simple moving averages out of the way. So on the weekly chart, 10-year weekly chart, we have a 9-week simple moving average of $119.15 and a 200-week simple moving average of $95.46. Based on where Akamai closed at today, they closed below this area of support that we had on the chart at $117.48. Let's use a box right there. I use the arrow because we're about to zoom in anyway. So let's take all of that stuff off. We're still on a 10-year weekly chart. And we're going to zoom into this area right here to get a little bit closer to see. Okay, yeah, guys, I'm seeing that as an area of, it's like a support zone. So I'll take me off the screen so you can see this crosshair going all the way back. So if we put a price level right there at the bottom of that wick, right here, so we put that there. That's at $107.11. When we go back to the left, we can see that that was resistance here. It was support and resistance here, support and resistance here, support and resistance here. So it was responding to that price level a few times. This area right here between $90.04 and $97.84, I'm seeing that more as like a support zone. And I'm calling it a support zone because right now the price is trading above it. So I'm seeing that more so as a support zone. So I'm letting you know that before we go down to the lower time frame. So that's the only thing I see that I want to add to the charts on the higher time frame. So let's go ahead and go to the 1-year daily chart. Here we go. And we can remove this line. This was just to see what the decline was from the percentage change from the 52-week high to the closing price of today. So remove drawing. Okay, now I want to focus on where the price stopped at today. So Akamai had earnings yesterday. Let's check that. So earnings were announced after market. Correct. So they announced earnings at 4:01 p.m. Eastern time. So when they did that, they responded to earnings today when the market opened. So what happened, it opened higher right here at the top of this red candle on the body, the top of the body, not the wick. So it opened at $124 today. But then over time, over the trading session today, it pushed all the way down. So with it doing that, it looks like it just stopped in the middle of nowhere, but it seems to have found support based off of these lows right here in this consolidation zone I had put on the chart recently. So if I put this price level right here on this wick, we can see that this candle came to test that level of $109.55 today. Guys, we have a lot of stuff on this chart already, so I think the levels are pretty good. And these support areas are real close to one another, so I would look at that as like a zone. So we have 109.55, 107.11, and then we have the 9-day simple moving average. So let's talk about those too, so we can get those out of the way, and then we can do the stock quote for Akamai, because we got more technical analysis levels than a little bit. We don't need no more. So here we go. The 9-day simple moving average is $115.64. And the 200-day simple moving average is $106.25. So this dashed white line right here is our 200-day simple moving average. So between that and the $109.55, I'm seeing that as a support zone because we have so many things in that same area. Instead of looking at each individual one, you just group them together, and I'm seeing that zone as potential support for Akamai, okay? So that's what we have for the technicals. Now we can go ahead and pull up our floating data box and get the stock quote for Akamai, and then we can talk about the volume. So Akamai opened today at $124. They had a high of $125.55. They had a low of $110.02, and they closed today at $110.54, which was a trading range of $15.53. Now, when we look at the volume, guys, they traded 8.1 million shares of this stock today. Is that a big deal? Is that a little deal? We about to find out. So let's go up here to the settings, cut off the floating data box, take me off the screen, and let's go to our average daily volume label right here, guys. So the average trading volume for Akamai in a daily trading session is 3.8 million shares. And today they did 8.1 on this big red candle right there. So they did more than two times what they usually do in a daily trading session. And then this small body green candle right here from Thursday, they traded 5.5 million shares that day. So Thursday and today, so Thursday and Friday were both above average. And we see an increase from Thursday to Friday, which was normal because the earnings were announced after market. So they're responding to it today. So we got that. Now let's talk about the volume percentile. So out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, their volume compared to today's volume of those days had higher volume than today. Boom, we got it. All right, now let's move on. Let's see what we got. Let's go here. Take that down, go here. Got it. All right, community support. Back to the community. I would appreciate it very much if you guys share the stream, hit the like button, subscribe, and if you wish to send a monetary gift to support the content, Cash App and PayPal links are down in the description as well as on the ticker on the screen, and it takes $10 to become the first sponsor of tonight's show. All right, and I need to grab that other phone, so give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull up the chart momentarily for this so I can go get this phone. I'll talk to you so you won't be bored. Like, man, what is going on? What is he doing? I got it. I'm right here. I just want to make sure I got this phone. So if somebody do the Cash App, I'll be able to see it. So there we go. So we can put me back on the screen and let's see where we are. We talked about that S&P 500 index. Okay, let's look at what the S&P 500 index did today by using the SPY ETF. This ETF gives investors an opportunity to participate in the broader U.S. market by allowing them to own a percentage of each company in the S&P 500 index. So let's go back to the charts. Here we go. Bam, bam, bam. Pull the ticker up for it. Absolutely. So we're going to go up here to our symbol box, type in the SPY. There we go. So we can take me off the screen. So let's talk about it. Guys, we're looking at the SPY and we are on a 1 year daily chart. Here is their 52-week low of $629.11 and their 52-week high of $776.85. Now, before we break down these technicals, let's go ahead and go to a higher time frame. So now we're looking at a 10-year weekly chart for the SPY. Here is 2016. So we do have a full 10 years. Here's their 10-year low of $208.38 and their 10-year high of $776.85, which is also our 52-week high. Okay, so we have that. Let's go back to the higher time frame. And guys, I want to talk about the simple moving average. So our 9-week simple moving average is $746.64. Our 200-week simple moving average is $549.87. And the SPY closed today at $773.26. So now we can go ahead and go back to the lower time frame and we can start working on our technicals. All right, so let's zoom in. Come on, mouse. Ooh, this thing acting a fool today on me. Zoom in. There we go. Bring this over. I'm gonna probably have to buy me another one, guys, because I shouldn't have to click this button that many times to make this happen. It's getting on my nerves. Nerves. Yeah, we haven't put anything on here about this body on this candle right here. So I'm gonna try something and see if it's actually responding to it. We're going to use the Fibonacci tool because with these historical highs that it's having with this 52-week high, it wasn't a lot of candles to actually look for levels to where it was finding support. But now that it's starting to go back up, we could view this pullback right here as potential support. But to me, that's not enough candles because it's just a few day candles. I would consider this level right here, $760.52, as a stronger area of support than just using, it's not acting right, give me a second, than just using the low of Thursday's candle, okay? But if somebody was scalping or day trading or something like that, they could potentially use the Fibonacci tool, the Fibonacci retracement tool. So put it at the low and the high, and then we can see that it closed right on the 50% pullback from the high of that move. Now you can see it. I'm still messing with this mouse, guys. So you see the close right here on Thursday's candle pull back to the 50% mark from the low of Tuesday's candle, and we went to the high of Wednesday's candle. On Thursday, it pulled back and closed around the 50% pullback, and now it's starting to move up. So that's another way investor or trader could look at that and potentially look for price points to get in and out of. So let me go ahead and remove that tool. And I already told you what I was looking at as far as support. So let me tell you about the 9-day simple moving average and the 200-day simple moving average. We can't even see it, but we have the label here. So the 200-day simple moving average is at $702.97, and our 9-day simple moving average is at $755.52. So I would view that as support, but before we even have to worry about that, I'm looking at 760.52. Okay, but the spot and jumped up into where it's in the 70s now. Like I said, you could use the Fibonacci, or someone could use the low of this candle as support. So I'll go ahead and put that on there just to have it. So boom, there it is, 767.46. So that was the 50% pullback that we saw with the Fibonacci. All right, now we can take these drawings off. Let's go ahead and go to the settings, cut on our floating data box. That's not it. It's right here. Click apply. And now let's get the details for this SPY. All right. So the SPY opened today at $771.02. They had a high of $773.92, and they had a low of $769.61. And they closed today at $773.26, which was a trading range of $4.30. $40. Oh my gosh, let me slow down. $4.30, 4.3. All right, now the trading volume, guys, they traded 43.5 million shares of this ETF today. Is that a big deal? Is that a little deal? Let's go check it out. All right, so let's cut off the floating data box. Take me off the screen. Guys, the SPY is continually trading below average. The average trading volume for the SPY in a daily trading session is 71 million shares. Today, they did 43. Oh my gosh, what's going on? 43.5 million shares of this ETF today. That's what they traded today. And so that's this green candle. And on Thursday, yesterday, they traded even less. So they traded 38.4 million shares on Thursday. So we do see the volume is increasing, but it's still trading below average by like 30 million shares. Okay. So that's what we have for the SPY ETF. Put me back on the screen. And now let's talk about the volume percentile. So see, this is so low. Out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, today's volume, this green candle right here, is only higher than 9.9% of those trading days volumes. To be exact, only 25 of those days had lower volume than today. All right, so we have that. Let's move on. Let's move on. So let's go here. Bam, take that down, go here. Got it. All right, sector performance tracker. Time to follow the money. Let's look at how each sector inside the S&P 500 index performed today. Let's go check that out. Let's go back to the chart. So let's go here. Bam, bam, take that down. We good. We are good. All right, let's take these drawings down. All right, guys, so we're going to go up here, change our grid to sector performance. So we have the percentage change for each sector inside the S&P 500 today and the percentage change for the S&P. We're using the SPY, and I want to pull up my notes. and I have them already. Let's do this. Condense that, collapse it, and then we'll come back to the notes in a minute. All right. So the SPY is up today 0.6%. Energy is down 1.1%. Materials is up 1.3%. Industrials is up 0.2%. Consumer discretionary is up 1.5%. Consumer staples, it looks flat, but we'll talk about that in a second. Healthcare is up 0.8%. Financials is down 0.4%. Information technology is up 1.4%. Communication services is up 0.1%. Utilities is up 0.5%. And real estate is up 0.4%. All right, now we're going to bring over our watch list, put this in descending order, and pull up our notes. So here we go. And let me change this. Let me change this. Let me change that. There we go. All right. So we're down here, guys. We're looking at Friday. So our biggest gainer for today is XLY, consumer discretionary, up 1.49%. Information technology is our second biggest gainer today, and they're up 1.42%. And materials is our third biggest gainer today, and they're up 1.32%. As far as our biggest losers, our biggest loser today, as far as sectors, is the energy sector. XLE down 1.13%. Financials is our number two biggest loser today, down 0.36%. And consumer staples, XLP, is our third biggest loser, but they actually finished positive. So they were the one that gained the least since it wasn't negative, and they gained 0.01%. And that was the one that looked flat. Where is it? Right here, consumer staples, XLP. Okay, so that's what we have there. Let's pull our notes back up and let's look at how these sectors perform throughout the week. Let's see how they did. So let's go over here to both, change this back to both. And then we're going to start going through the sectors. So let's start with communication services. So communication services was our biggest gainer on Monday, our biggest loser on Wednesday, and our biggest gainer on Thursday. So they showed up 3 times this week. Consumer discretionary, they were our biggest gainer. They were our third biggest gainer on Monday, third biggest gainer on Wednesday, and our number one gainer on Friday. Consumer staples, they were our number 2 loser on Monday and our number 3 loser today, but they actually finished positive. It was very small positives, but they finished positive. Energy, man, they was on here every day this week. So they were our biggest loser on Monday, our number 2 biggest loser on Tuesday, number 1 biggest loser on Wednesday, Thursday they were our number 1 gainer, and then Friday they were our number 1 loser. So they were only green once this week. Crazy. All right, financials, they were our number 2 loser today, number 2 biggest loser today. Healthcare 4 times this week. So Monday they were our number 3 biggest loser. They were our third biggest loser. Tuesday, they were our third biggest loser. Wednesday, they were our number 1 gainer. And then Thursday, they were our third gainer. We're almost done, guys. Industrials. So industrials was our number 2 gainer on Monday, number 3 gainer on Tuesday, number 3 loser on Thursday. Information technology. They were our number 1 gainer on Tuesday and our number 2 gainer today. Materials 4 times. Okay, so they were number 2 gainer on Tuesday, number 2 gainer on Wednesday, number 1 loser on Thursday, and our number 3 gainer today. We got 2 more. Real estate. Real estate was our number 2 loser on Thursday, and utilities was our number 1 loser on Tuesday and our number 3 loser on Wednesday. All right, guys, so we're going to look at how these sectors perform for the whole week as a whole on our weekly recap live this Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, so make sure you tune in. We're going to go over what happened this week. Like, we're going to look at everything collectively. So we got our notes for that, and we'll talk about the VIX and the Fear and Greed Index brought to us by CNN Business. All right, so we're done with that. Let's go ahead and move on so we can go here. Take that down, go here. Yeah, I think that's everything. All right. Biggest gainers and losers, guys. Now let's look at the S&P 500 biggest gainer and loser of the day. But first, we're going to look at the loser so we can end the night on a high note. All right. So let's go back to the chart. So we go there. We good. All right. Let's change our grid back to pro market close. We go to watch list. I don't know what I got here, guys. So I'm going to take that down. Let me make sure I got this right. I don't want to spoil it. We can all be surprised. Yeah, I didn't have the right thing up. So I'm pulling up the S&P 500 watch list. I'm pulling up the right columns, putting it in the right order, and go all the way to the top. And I'll bring you guys over right now. There we go, guys. Okay, so the biggest loser for today, guys, is the Trade Desk. The Trade Desk Incorporated, ticker TTD. Ooh-wee. And I didn't mean to rhyme, but I did that time. So here we go. Trade Desk lost 21.9% today. Their previous close was $17.67, and they closed today at $13.80. So let's do a hypothetical. Here we go. Clear this out. Let's say somebody invested $8,500, $8,500, and they lost that 21.9%. So we negate that, we make a percentage. They would have lost $1,861.50 of their investment. We add the $8,500 principal back to it, and they would be left with $6,638.50. Okay, now let's go ahead and go to, after we link this, there's a few things I need to do. I need to link that and then select it. Now let's go over to the Analyze tab. And we can see that Trade Desk is in the communication services sector. So we're going to see how that sector performed, the industry that it's inside of performed, and the sub industry. Okay, so let's go over here to the Market Watch tab. Then we go to the Visualize sub tab, and then we already have the S&P 500 heat map pulled up. There's a few things going on. Let's take the sponsorship down. Let's take me off the screen. All right, so we're looking for the communication services sector, guys. It's right here. Bam. Now we're looking for TTD. All right, it's all the way down here in the corner. I'm glad I took the sponsorship down because you wouldn't have seen it. So let me pull this over. It looks like the industry they're inside of is media. Yes. So we're in the communication services sector. We're in the media industry, and now we're looking for the sub industry. So Trade Desk is in the advertising sub industry. Okay. They were down today. The other company that's in there is Omnicom Group Incorporated, and they closed the day green, up 3.31%. Okay. So let's go back out to the media. Media looks like it's balanced, guys. I'm seeing 5 green and 4 red. No, that's yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, 5 green, 4 red. And let's go back out to the communication services sector. It looks like it's more red than green because of how big Google's market cap is. But I'm seeing more green than red, or slightly balanced, guys. Okay, so let's go over here let's go back to the Analyze tab, and let's talk about Trade Desk. We'll look at their company profile before we visit the website. So Trade Desk Incorporated is the full name of the company. Here's a link to their website. It's also down in the description for your convenience. Let's read the description of the company, and then we'll go to the website. We're not going to read the whole thing. Just bear with me. The Trade Desk Incorporated operates as a technology company in the United States and internationally. That was so brief, but I did research. We'll be good. Let's go ahead and go to the website. Trust me. Just trust me. So we got that ticker up. We got that going on. Let's go to their website. So the website's going to be right here. All right. Guys, I did not browse over this. We've looked at them before. I see careers, I see investors, I see company, maybe about us will be under here. Yep, about us. So everything we need will be right here. And we can click learn more. So let's browse over the home page, and then they might have links at the bottom as well. If not, then we'll click on this at the top. So let's get it. An objectively better way to advertise. Our advertising platform helps advertisers find new audiences and grow their brands with cutting edge technology and access to the world's best content. Smarter marketing starts here. From brand building to performance marketing, our omni-channel platform is built with one goal, helping you meet yours. Reach more people across more channels: audio, connected TV, digital, out of home, mobile, display, native, video. Get to know our platform. I'm still scrolling, guys. It just wasn't moving because the way it is designed. All from one platform. And measure results both online and in store with marketplace of objective measurement partners. Okay, let's get started. Our platform. Read all about it. It's a lot of stuff to read. Remember, links are down in the description for your convenience. You want to check it out? All right, I don't see about us down here. Maybe I'm reading too fast, but we have investors, careers. Yeah, I don't see about us. So let's go back to the top where it says company and go to learn more. Put me back on the screen. Company. All right, because advertising matters, relevant advertising powers the digital world, and we help power relevant advertising. Why we do what we do. It's about more than just clicks. Premium streaming TV, one-click commerce, trusted journalism, the world's most popular audio and podcasts. All these amazing online experiences drive an open internet, and they're all fueled by relevant advertising. That's why we created an independent media buying platform designed for the open internet. All right, our mission, found something. Our mission, we're here to help brands drive growth. And we do that by unleashing a full potential of your data-driven advertising. Because reach matters, because choice matters, because ROI matters, return on investment, because growth matters. Industry initiatives. A rising tide lifts all boats, and identity fabric. Guys, there's a lot of information on here. Learn how we help marketeers reach the right audiences right when it matters most. So they're promoting the platform. We're not going to click on all that. Remember, the link is down in the description for your convenience for you to dig into this a little deeper. Careers. The future of open internet starts with you. All right. So now let's go to careers. Take me off the screen, guys. It's right here. Bam. Come on, load up, put me back on the screen. All right, careers. We're looking for the benefits, guys. Please let this be easy to find. All right, teams, life here. We'll have to go up there in a minute if we don't find it as we scroll. What we do at the trade desk, we're building a better, more open internet that inspires business growth while helping people discover products that enrich their lives. Got it. Why come to work at the trade desk? Principles that guide our growth, see our values, making an impact, entrepreneurial spirit, commitment to growth. Our teams, learn more about our teams, life here, a more rewarding life at work and at home. Here it is. That's why we offer a wide range of perks and benefits to all employees across the globe. So right here, that's where the benefits are hidden. We'll click learn here after we finish going over this. 15 offices in the Americas, offices in EMEA, 15 offices in APAC. Inclusion and belonging. We embrace inclusion, belonging in everything we do. All right, so let's go back to the benefits. It was, I moved too fast. It's right here. Life here. It's up here at the top too. So we went ahead and clicked there. We're looking for the benefits, and then we'll go to investor relations. Where passion meets purpose. Our tight-knit company culture is the core to our success, which is why we work so hard to foster an environment built on empathy, collaboration, and personal growth, our values. When you're all working toward a common goal, you need a set of guiding values to help get you there. Got it. Vision. We have a unique view of what tomorrow looks like and how to get there. Benefits. Here we go, guys. Premium perks for premium talent. People are a top priority. Ownership and equity, charitable giving, family. This is a lot of stuff. I'm not going to read all this. So the link is down in the description. I'm going to browse through this a little bit. And then we can go ahead and go to investor relation. So it's down here at the bottom. Thank gosh, right here, investors. So boom. Let's see what we have here. Put me back on the screen. We're going to browse over this page. It looks like a short scroll, and then it looks like stock info is right here at the top. Investor relations. Here's the stock quote or a real small stock information. Featured presentation, investor relations, the latest press releases, latest quarter 2, 2026. Got it. Stock info, stock quote, and chart. Got it. All right. So that loaded very fast. That's good. All right, there's the stock quote, historical stock quote. So they have other tools for investors on their website. Now we can go ahead and talk about our research for the company, more details about the company. So here we go. Cam, we already have that there. Cool. So biggest loser research. The Trade Desk Incorporated, ticker TTD. When it comes to their goods and services, guys, they manage cloud advertising buying software across the connected TV, digital video, and audio markets, offering solutions such as, number one, complete demand side options, including ad auctions and audience targeting from marketing agencies. Number two, scalable programmatic media products, including automated bidding, data analytics, and Kokai for global brands. And number three, and optimized ad inventory systems tailored for streaming TV, retail media, and digital audio. Looking at their S&P 500 clients and partners, notable names include the Walt Disney Company, ticker DIS, Walmart Incorporated, ticker WMT, and Netflix Incorporated, ticker NFLX. Now let's look at Trade Desk on the charts. So here we go. Bam, bam. My face itch, but I'm all right. Here we go. All right, let's go to the charts. We have Trade Desk pulled up. Okay, what time frame are we on? We are on a... Got it. I see where we are. Guys, I've been keeping an eye on this company, so that's why we have a whole bunch of levels on here. So just bear with me. I'm going to walk you through it. So we are looking at Trade Desk TTD. We're looking at a 1-year daily chart. Here's their 52-week low. Guys, this happened today. $12.83. They have a 52-week high of $91.45. And guys, it looks like that candle is about to roll off. And when the market opens on Monday, they'll have a new 52-week low. I mean, a new 52-week high. I'm sorry. They'll have a new 52-week high because this $91.45 is about to roll off. So let's go to the higher time frame. So now we are looking at a 10-year weekly chart. Look at all those levels. You can't even read that stuff. Take me off the screen. All right, so here we go. We have a 10-year low of $2.02. That is 2016. I forgot to point that out. So this is 10 years. And then they have a 10-year high, guys, of $141.53. So that's very interesting to see it go from $2.20 all the way up here to $141.53. And then over a matter of 2 years, now it's back down at $12. Was that 52-week low? We'll see that in a minute. But today it closed at $13.80. Before we go back on the lower time frame, I can put me back on the screen. Let's talk about the 9-week simple moving average and the 200-week simple moving average. So the 9-week simple moving average is $18.06, and the 200-week simple moving average is $66.98. Okay, so we have that. And I already did some technicals on here for the lows. So let's go back to the lower time frame and start to zoom in so these lines can clear up. Because you're like, what is all of that? You can't read it. I know. We're about to zoom in. You'll see. So now you can see the price levels a lot better. All right. So you can't see the gap down that happened. So because this is the current 52-week low, I want to go back to the higher time frame to see if we can find some potential support below that $12.83. I already did it. So it's at $10.24 that I'm seeing as potential support on a historical time frame. Okay, so that's what I have for support. This was the 52-week low that happened today. I'm not going to put a line there, but you can see it based off the bubble. This was long-term support that it broke, but today it was able to close back above it. And we're going to highlight this gap. So it's a couple things I want to point out to you. First, let's let's highlight this gap. So let's go over to the rectangle tool. We're going to connect to Thursday's low and today's high. Extend this over to January 1st of 2027, and we're going to turn this to be yellow so we can identify that that is a gap. We'll put a price level here for the bottom of that gap or bottom of the window, but I'm not going to put a price level at the top because it's so close to that $17.36. It's going to look jumbled up. If you want to see what it is, it's right here, guys. The top end of that window or top of that gap is $17.39. Okay. All right. So there was another gap right here, guys. So that was between July 24th and July 27th. So that gap was tested on Thursday before the earnings were released. So the earnings were released after market, and guys, they didn't like it. They didn't like it, and it plummeted. It plummeted. They fell short at expectations. The company's still profitable, but they're not growing as fast as they were previously. And that's what drove the price up that we were looking at. Like, how did it go from here? The growth was fantastic over a period of time. And now the growth slowed down. So investors are panicking and worried about it. So that's what's going on. So it gapped down. That's what we have going on there. And we have these levels here, guys. We got more than enough levels, so we really don't need to do those. And I'm going to point out the 200-day and the 9-day simple moving average on the lower time frame. And then we can go ahead and get the stock quote for Trade Desk. So the 9-day simple moving average is $18.04. The 200-day simple moving average is $28.45. And we talked about the fact that they had earnings announced yesterday after market. They had a lot of news today as well, and different ratings were released. And of course, a majority of them were downgrades. So here we go. Let's go up here to the settings. Let's cut on the floating data box. And let's get the stock quote for the Trade Desk. So the Trade Desk opened today at $12.87. They had a high of $14.57. They had a low of $12.83, and they closed today at $13.80, which was a trading range of $1.74. Now, oh my gosh, the trading volume, guys, they traded 133 million shares of this stock today. Is that a big deal? Is that a little deal? I guarantee you, we about to find out. So let's cut off this floating data box. Oh my, take me off the screen. And here we go, guys. The average trading volume for Trade Desk in a daily trading session is 18 million shares. Guys, they did 133 million today. Even the day before earnings, they did 92 million. This red candle had 92. This candle right here today had 133 million. I'm so interested. Let me pull up this calculator. So what we're going to do, we're just going to I'm just going to do the math on the one from today and divide that by the 18 million. That's 7 times average. They did 7 times what they normally do in one day. Wow, crazy. All right. So let's talk about the volume percentile. Put me back on the screen. So this was easy. Out of the most recent 252 trading days, today's volume was higher than all of them. None of those days had higher volume than today. Very simple. None of them. I assume yesterday was probably the 100% until today came rolling through. But we didn't do the math on the other one. But that's what I just pointed to. You couldn't see it. Right over here, the previous volume. Yeah, guys. So that's what we got for the Trade Desk. Now let's go ahead and move on because we did our levels. Yeah, we did all that. We're good. So let's go ahead and go back to the Market Watch tab. Let's take this back to the S&P 500. And let's go over to the quotes sub tab. Put this in descending order, guys. The biggest gainer for today is Airbnb Incorporated, ticker ABNB. Guys, they had a percentage gain of 17.43%. Their previous close was $151.64, and they closed today at $178.07. Okay, let's pull back up the calculator and do a hypothetical really quickly. So what we were using, I believe we were using 8,500. So if somebody invested $8,500 and they gained 17.43%, hit the percentage, change it to a decimal, they would have gained $1,481.55 on top of their $8,500 investment or principal. So the total investment would have grown to $9,981.55. Bada boom, bada bing. Now we can take this off the screen, select Airbnb, and let's go over to the Analyze tab. So Airbnb is in the consumer discretionary sector. Now, we didn't do this with the last company. Trade Desk was in the consumer discretionary. So looking at our biggest gainer for today, let me just go ahead and do this because this will highlight it. So consumer, now this doesn't happen all the time. I just want to point this out because it's just interesting. That actual sector performed the best today, consumer discretionary, and our biggest gainer happened to be in the same sector. Doesn't happen that way all the time, but I remember. Because energy was our biggest loser, but Trade Desk was in communication services. Okay, so it doesn't happen that way all the time, but I remembered this in particular one. All right, so we're going to look at how consumer discretionary performed as far as like the companies that's in there, because we already know they did well today. What industry Airbnb is inside of, and the sub industry. We want to see how all of that performed today. So let's go back up to the Market Watch tab, go to the Visualize sub tab, and now take me off the screen. We are looking for consumer discretionary, guys. Is right here. Bam. Airbnb is right here. So they're under hotels, restaurants, and leisures industry. Now, when we go inside there, they are under right here. They are under hotels, resorts, and cruise lines sub industry. All right. And it looks balanced. We have 4 green and we have 4 red. So let's back out of that sub industry to that industry. Guys, I'm seeing more red than green. It seems like to me, I'm seeing more red than green, or a slight balance again. And then we go out to consumer discretionary, and I definitely see more green than red, but it could be because Tesla and Amazon have such a large market cap, but eBay is down here. It's probably so small you didn't see it, but it might slightly be more. There's a way for me to do this. So let me show you real quick, guys. Trust me, just real quick. If I go to index watch, and then right here where it says select watch list, I created a watch list specifically for each sector inside the S&P 500 index. So this will actually give us the number. So we were looking at consumer discretionary. So if I select that watch list, it'll put it in numbers for us. So it says 33 of those are advancing. So 33 of them are green and 14 of them are declining. So that is more green than red. That's how I broke that down real quick. Okay. And if you want to know how to do that watch list, I have a watch list playlist. I'm not sure if it's in the description or not, but if you want it, I'll put it in the description. And if you go to the channel, it's on there too. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and put it in the chat. I'll put the playlist in the chat right now. Let me do that. Chat. It's not important. I don't want to hold you guys up. I'll do it after the show. We need to finish the show up. So let's go ahead and go back to the Analyze tab. And let's talk about the company profile before we go visit their website. All right. So Airbnb Incorporated, official company name. Here's a link to their website. It's also down in the description for your convenience. Let's read a little bit about the company. Airbnb Incorporated, together with its subsidiaries, operates a platform for stays, experiences, and services worldwide. Got it. Now let's go ahead and go to their website. Put me back on the screen. Take that down. Okay, guys, we're good. Are we zoomed all the way in? I believe so. Now, guys, if we go to a consumer discretionary website, they in the business of selling you something. So we're going to have to dig around and find what we're looking for. So let's browse over it. Everything we pretty much going to see is, hey, book somewhere. Hey, come here, come do this. But let's just go through it. Probably not going to be much to read. Capture memories nearby. Homes in Orlando, available next month. Gatlinburg, never heard of that place before. Places to stay in Nashville, just a whole bunch of everything, huh? Now we're down here at the bottom. Okay, so here we go. Take me off the screen. Support. Okay, under Airbnb, we have careers, we have investors. I'm looking for about Airbnb. Guys, I don't see it. I don't see it. So let's go up here to the top and see if they have anything. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Okay. When this happens, guys, they might have the about and career in the company information under the careers and investors. So let's just go to careers and see if we can find out things about the company there. They might have about under this actual tab. I've seen that happen before. So let's just start going through it. Discover your place at Airbnb. Explore open roles. Are we zoomed in all the way? We are now. There we go. All right. So work at one of the most creative places on earth. From our first 3 guests in 2007, Airbnb has welcomed 1.5 billion arrivals, all thanks to our 5 million hosts. Live and work anywhere. We welcome you. Make an impact. Open the door to your next role. Live and work anywhere. 191 open positions, 22 departments. They break down a lot of details, or clear details, I should say. Ongoing at Airbnb. I didn't see anything about benefits though, guys, and I didn't see anything like about the company as well. Live and work anywhere, departments. Let's go back to the top and see if it's life at Airbnb. Let's click that one. Life at Airbnb. At Airbnb, we care. Our allies, advocates, teachers, students, guests, and hosts from all walks of life. What defines us? So here's the stuff that's going to be like about the company. Our creativity allows us to imagine new possibilities. Our responsibility is to all of our stakeholders. Our community is based on connection and belonging. Discover what truly defines Airbnb in a detailed letter from our founders, Brian, Joe, and Nate. Core values: champion the mission. We're united in partnership with our community to create connection, which enables belonging. Be a host. Embrace the adventure. Be a serial entrepreneur. Shaping our culture. Strengthen our communities. Live and work anywhere. Our live and work anywhere policy has 5 principles. I'm not going to read all of them. Benefits. We found it. We found it, guys. We found everything was hidden up under here. Ain't that something? Besides investor relations, but here we go. Benefits: health and wellness, financial well-being, time away and flexibility, personal development, family caregiving, and life experiences. It's dropped down, so it gives you more details. Links to this website are down in the description for your convenience. You can click away, but we found it. Okay. Now we're going to find the investor relations. So we might have to dig and go back and go back. I know it was at the home page down at the bottom. Here we go. Investors. Woo, you got to remember. So stock information is right here at the top. Let's browse over this home page and then we'll go there. Quarterly results, press releases, newsroom, upcoming events, email alerts, and contact info. I got it. Stock info, stock quote. Here we go. Stock info, stock chart, and stock quote. I know it's moving kind of fast, guys. I didn't mean for that to happen. Did we see? Okay, stock quote is right here. So here's the chart. Here's the quote. And here are other tools for investors on their website. All right, so let's go to my research. Go there. And we already had a ticker for the company pulled up. So here we go. Biggest gainer research. Airbnb Incorporated, ticker ABNB. When it comes to their goods and services, they manage an online lodging marketplace across the short-term rental, vacation, and experience markets, offering solutions such as Number one, complete lodging reservation options, including private rooms and whole homes for global travelers. Number two, scalable host management products, including air cover, pricing tools, and messaging for property owners. And number three, an optimized experience booking systems tailored for guided tours, local activities, and outdoor adventures. Looking at their S&P 500 clients and partners, notable names include Delta Airlines Incorporated, ticker DAL, PayPal Holdings Incorporated, ticker PYPL, and Salesforce Incorporated, ticker CRM. Now, let's look at Airbnb on the charts. So there we go. All right, let's go back to the charts tab. Ooh, look at how that took off up in there. Okay, all right, so we have Airbnb pulled up on the charts. We're looking at a 1-year daily chart, guys. Here is their 52-week low of $110.81. Here's their 52-week high that happened today of $178.48. And we've looked at Airbnb before, so that's why we have a few technicals here. Let's go ahead and go to our higher time frame. So now we pulled up a 10-year weekly chart. Let's look for 2016, guys. I do not see it. Let me double check and make sure. So it goes back to the end of 2020. So we got 26, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have about 6 years worth of data for Airbnb. So they have a 6-year high of $219.94 and a 6-year low of $81.91 based off where the price action is right now. Before we do that, let's get this out the way. The 9-week simple moving average, guys, is $148.27, and the 200-week simple moving average is $130.58. Okay, so we have that. Put me back on the screen, and let's get some of these levels on the higher time frame. So I'm seeing that right there. So we got that quickly done. So that was at $162.58, and as we can see, it crashed through that one. So I'm seeing that one is the next one. It crashed through that one. That was $170.10. Now I'm gonna use the crosshairs from where it stopped at right now and just look to the left to see. And of course, there we go. Right here, guys, these wicks, $178.88. Let's see what the high was today. $178.48. So it fell 40 cents short of that historical high. And what day was that? That day was March 28th of 2022. The week after that was April 4th, 2022. The date is going to be that week. It's not going to tell you which day of the week it is. It's just going to be the week of that candle. So it's going to be the first day of that week. So I wanted to correct myself if I said the day. That was the week. So that was March 28th week, and then we had April 4th week. And then this would be, woo, they got a lot of different spikes up here, guys. And they're kind of they're like $10 away, depending on what you want to look at. I'm gonna use this one on the higher time frame. So I'm skipping over this wick right here because you have more wicks responding to this price level than actually is not more, it's actually both of them. So you can look at that like a zone. So let me show you how I'm gonna do it. Instead of using a price level there, and you can't see it, I'm gonna use the rectangle tool. So I'm gonna use the high of the week of December 6, 2021 and connect it to the high of the week of February 14th in 2022. Then I'm going to extend this over to January 1st of 2027. There we go. So that's my long-term resistance zone. And then I'll put the lower price range on it right there. That wasn't it. Remove drawing, price level. Try this again. There we go. All right, so we're good on the higher time frame for Airbnb. So let's go ahead and go down to our 1-year daily chart. Guys, our technicals are almost done already. That's funny. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to identify the gap that happened between Thursday and today. And I want to point out the fact, I believe they had earnings yesterday. So let's see. Yeah. They announced earnings yesterday after the market closed. So today they were responding to earnings. They could have shot up in the extended hours, and that's easy to check. So I'll show you how to do that in a minute. So let's go ahead and extend this over to January 1st, 2027. Change this gap to yellow so we can easily identify that. I'm not going to put the price level on the top of that gap because it's close to the higher time frame historical resistance that we had got. But here are those price levels. So the top of that gap is at $163.45. The low of the gap is $153.79. I don't remember if we did this, but let's go over this right now. The 9-day simple moving average is $154.72, and the 200-day simple moving average is $133.34. So that's what I have for the technicals, and I wanted to show you real quick if it shot up after earnings and extended hours yesterday. So I want to go to the 5-minute daily chart. Yeah, guys. So this was today. Just double checking. Yes. So this was today. And this was yesterday. So when the market closed yesterday, they closed at $151.64. So right down here, right below the gap we just put there, of course, but we just put there based off that price action. And then they had shot up after hours to a high of $171.90. So they had did that in extended hours. So in extended hours, guys, they hit a higher high than, did they? Let's go back to the lower time frame. No, they didn't. They didn't hit a higher high, but they got above their area of resistance on the higher time frame in the extended hours before the market opened today. That's what we're looking at, because we got this price level from the higher time frame. So they broke that in extended hours yesterday, and then when the market opened today, they had took off even further. So that's what we have there, guys. That's what we have. So let's go ahead and get our stock quote for Airbnb, and we can get ready to talk about the volume. So go to the settings, floating data box. Here we go. So Airbnb opened today at $164.70. They had a high of $178.48. They had a low of $163.45, and they closed today at $178.07, which was a trading range of $15.03. Now, the trading volume, guys, they traded 15 million, almost 16 million, 15.9 million shares of this stock today. Is that a big deal? Is that a little deal? Let's find out. So let's cut off the floating data box, take me off the screen, and let's look at the average trading volume for Airbnb in a daily trading session. Guys, they normally trade 4.4 million shares in a daily trading session. Today, they did almost 16. So that would be 4 times, and I'm rounding this down to 4 million, 4 times what they do normally in a trading day. And Thursday's volume, this candle right here, spinning top, they did 6 million shares that day. So we see that both of those days were above average, and it really increased to do 4 times what it normally does today. So we have that when we're looking at the volume. Let's put me back on the screen and let's talk about the volume percentile. Guys, it was almost 100%. So out of the most recent 252 trading days, today's volume was higher than 99.6% of the most recent 252 trading days volume. To be exact, only one day had higher volume than today. And just to go over this again, because I don't remember if we did it, the 9-day simple moving average is at $154.72, and the 200-day simple moving average is at $133.34. So it's trading well above both of those simple moving averages. Okay. And guess what? We done. We done. So we can go ahead and go here, guys, and we can get ready to wrap up the show. All right. So You already know. I hope that you learned something, and I hope that you earned something. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. This Sunday, August 9th at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we're reviewing this week's biggest gainers and losers, market sentiment, market volatility, S&P 500 sector performance, and creating a watch list for upcoming earnings. And make sure you keep tuning in weekdays following a market trading session at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Take care and God bless.